Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the straight red card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card, where my laptop continues to fail us on a regular basis, at least once a month. This thing fucking takes a bath in a big fucking bucket of shit. Yeah, so I got on at 7:45 to make sure it would work, and then it took it until 8:16 to fucking start Edge. Yeah, I had to restart the whole thing. And to recognize my mic, which is why I had to restart. In the first place, it wouldn't recognize my mic.
So the turd thought he had plenty of time to come up with a good intro now. Nope.
Oh, no.
Kevin came up with one real quick.
All right, Kevin. Welcome to the Straight Red Card, where we talk about how Burrow always has an errand long and hard one for mediocre and underperforming MLS players in the roster.
The turd
I don't know.
seconds later.
I don't know if that's how you sound, Kevin.
I think
Probably-
it's a good accent.
Probably not, but
I mean, the stats are in your favor. That probably sounds something along those lines. I mean, how many people live on that side of that coast?
where does he live?
I don't know, but you gave him kind of a New York and
East
accent.
Coast. Yeah.
East Coast-ish, yeah.
Kind of a slimy East Coast accent.
You're never gonna catch us, Kappas.
What?
That's more. I guess it's more Chicago.
I'm gonna go see Bugsy.
Yeah.
All right. That's the ticket. The turd in the background says, welcome.
Sorry, before you jump into that.
All right.
Kevin's
I'm from
Indiana.
Indiana. Well, then I should have done it just straight.
Yeah,
Welcome.
because there's no accent here in Indiana. So
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay. Welcome to the Straight Red Card, the only show where a technological problem is a daily occurrence. Little advice: don't scratch your sweaty balls on the train and sniff your fingers. Why not? The former coach of the German national team used to do that on the
all the time.
constant.
Yeah.
And he kept his job for years. He used to eat his boogers on the sideline in front of cameras. That guy was gross. So Jürgen Löw, it was his name. Jürgen Löw. And by the way, I just got done before the show watching Sam's video. And Sam, you know we love you, but God damn it, would you quit calling her eights attacking mids? Stop it. They're not attacking mids. They are supposed to attack at times, but they're box-to-box mids. That's what they are. Maybe one of them takes a little more liberty than the other three, but they're not attacking mids. We don't play a 10. They're eights. They're eights. God damn it. I know. Semantics. It's semantics. Semantics.
This is me upset.
All right. And then Pete said on his show, failure is not an option. It certainly is. It most certainly is an option, Pete. That is one of the options that could happen in Qatar. Absolute and utter failure. Now, we hope it doesn't happen, but it is, in fact, an option. And I know that's a saying. I helped edit a book that's out there in the education world called Failure's Not an Option. So I know. But in this case, it is an option. And we hope it's not the option. Derek's computer.
Taking my computer, putting it in the trash. And
So I have an awesome computer as well I use for work, for contract work. That's phenomenal that I own, but I don't want to mix up my my business with pleasure, if you will, because this is pleasure, not business. Also, I have to comment on this. This really irritates me. You wait.
something I posted, did it?
You have to wait like 6 to 8 hours for Norwich City's fucking YouTube page.
Is it finally up?
No. To post the
Motherfuckers.
fucking highlights of the fucking game that just happened hours and hours ago. Meanwhile, we can watch all the Champions League highlights 5 minutes after the game ends on YouTube. But you can't find
EPL gets them
Norwich.
up maybe like an hour or so after the game.
It's irritating, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? Get your highlights, especially when you win a big game. Get your fucking highlights up on your YouTube. You know, it's just absurd. It's absurd. People need help. They need help. Our Artyom Dragstov. Very Russian sounding sort of name. You never watch X Hamster on your business computer? Hell no. I do not. I do not watch X Hamster. I do not watch YouPorn. I do not watch any of the things like that. Because, yeah, I don't need to be giving a presentation to staff and all of a sudden some shit pops up on my screen like, oh, look, Derek, look what he has saved on his Edge favorite sites. Oh, interesting. X Hamster. We don't need that. All right. So, Norwich, get your shit together and get that up. There were some games played today that we can talk about real quick before we get to the actual.
Well, I've got a couple things before we actually even talk about soccer. I mean, we're only 6 minutes in. Let's not speed.
Oh, you got
here.
shit to talk about before soccer. Okay, Jose, I want to thank you. Man, this is at least, I don't know, 3 meals right there. Bam.
Glad to see you back, man.
And we are on the verge of buying all new equipment. I know that, but the plan has actually started. We have actually started to map out what we need. I'm getting a new mic. I'm getting a new laptop.
Derek's getting an Abacus, and I'm getting a gaming computer. So,
okay. You are getting a gaming computer? I mean,
as much as I can with the money that we're splitting there. So.
Oh yeah, because we plan to actually at some point play soccer against one another on FIFA. And then
yes, digitally, not in real life.
And you could that'd
be the saddest thing to watch right now.
Especially my sciatic nerve going nuts right now, all the way down my leg. It's horrible. It's not a big deal right now, but sometimes it is. I'm back, Jose Reyes says. Here's some Wi-Fi money for Derek. Like normal, my Wi-Fi's fucking fantastic. Like
wasn't like a Monday's show.
Yeah, I went out for like 2 minutes. It's weird. 5 minutes.
You got
like
to hotspot yourself for like half the second half of the show.
Yeah, but the TV kept coming back on. It came back on, which means my Wi-Fi was back, right? But
if it kept coming back on, that means it's going off again. So
it did. It did that. It did that for 5 minutes. That's why I didn't trust it. That's why I didn't bump over. But after it had been like 5 minutes solid where it was working again, I just went, boom, okay, that's what we're doing. Like normal, the roster is filled with usuals, a surprise, and players we don't want to see. However, Sargent is scoring. Cheers, friends. Woo! Yes, he is. He scored again today. Norwich, get it up on your site. Your YouTube site, you fucking idiots.
Once again, though, thanks, Jose. Glad that you're back. See, Chris Gary's in the chat as well. He's back. He's not missing this one.
Excuse me while I do some illegal drugs in India.
Sure. So tonight I came home with Chuck and made some dinner and decided to make some spaghetti. And heated up the noodles, heated up the sauce I was making. And
you made sauce, or did you get it out of a can?
It's out of a can.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But I browned up the meat myself, so it's not meat in a can at least. So there's that.
All right, hamburger.
Anyways, so yeah.
All right.
So I'm making spaghetti with meat sauce, and drain the noodles and everything, and then I come back and I'm like, well, I'm going to mix it all together.
Yeah.
So I poured it back into the pot. And I was like, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to do that. So I went to pour it back into the strainer because I didn't want to scrape the bottom of my pot with whatever the prong for spaghetti stuff is called. And
okay.
What is that thing called?
I don't know. You mean like the fork? Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
It's like a claw. Yeah.
And so I grabbed the handles of the pot, forgetting that with the gas stovetop that I have, that the sides and the handles of the pot get scalding fucking hot.
Oh, see.
And I burnt the shit out of my fingers.
Well,
it's gonna make masturbating later a lot more difficult.
Well, wear a glove.
I actually, oddly enough, though, I actually
rubber glove.
I actually recorded it so you can see it. Would you like to see it happen?
Yeah, sure. You recorded yourself burning yourself?
Well, not on purpose.
No.
So here we are. Here's me.
Okay. Ooh.
Just put my pot away, as you can tell.
Yeah.
See, there I am. Oh, nice.
Ooh, dinner time. Oh, what an idiot. Okay. We'll probably get busted for some sort of bullshit.
That was... Wait, what?
Oh, for copyright.
Oh, we can't get copyright for that. That was like 7 seconds.
Oh, by the way, folks, you should know we've been copyrighted twice by MLS in the last...
3 out of our last 4 shows.
Yeah. They're going to lose 2 of them at least really badly, like they have already. They've already lost 2 really badly and looked bad. And each time we've said, how long are you, YouTube, going to let these dumb fuckers keep claiming 5 seconds of a fucking interview that we play as your shit? It's not your shit. We're using it, and we're using it to have a discussion about Gregg. And just because you don't like us using Gregg, you can suck our big fat fucking wieners. All right.
What he said. No, it's fucking annoying going on there seeing copyright claimed MLS. And I'm like,
MLS.
You suck.
Yeah.
Every time I contemplate possibly covering more MLS, covering Chicago and all that stuff, I keep thinking about this. Keep thinking about how they just keep trying to take our $1.70 away from us, you assholes.
Yeah, stands for stupid, unbelievable motherfuckers. That's what that stands for. All right.
Here we go. Alex Martinez says, what topics did MLS get mad about? We had on the previous show, so last Thursday's show, we covered a 40-second snippet of Berhalter talking about how the pace in MLS is slower than the pace in Europe.
That's correct.
Our problem was in that 40 seconds, we didn't say anything. We didn't comment. We just listened to his comment. We did a couple nods. It still could have been transformative, but the fact that we went 40 seconds without saying something,
we didn't challenge that one.
Risky enough, so we didn't challenge that one. But that's the type of shit that they get pissed off about when we show like. Oh, the other ones were Chicharito getting purple nurpled.
Yep, that was
they got pissed off about that one.
7-second clip. Yep.
Yeah. So
bullshit. They're full of shit. I don't know if we've won that one yet, but we will.
No, it's still in escrow, so we got none yet.
Good. I hope we take the whole $3.20 from them. These little fucking cunts. All right, Matt Doyle keeps copyright striking you. I don't think it's Matt Doyle. I mean, I know you're kidding, but Matt Doyle has nothing to do with that. And you know, we've met Matt Doyle. He's not that bad of a guy. I don't like all his opinion, but that's all right.
Ruganaga came in late. Speaking of movies, diversity of the word fuck. Is that a Boondock Saint reference? Absolutely is.
Awesome. I don't know what the fuck. I know what the Boondocks is, but
Boondocks or Boondock Saints?
I don't know. Is there
Boondocks is an animated cartoon.
Yeah, that I know. What's
Boondock Saints is a movie from like the late 90s.
About
2 Irish brothers going on a vigilante attack against bad people.
It's not that movie. It's not that movie where Tom Cruise plays an Irish guy moving to the United States.
No.
What the fuck was that?
Can't you just say you like my hat?
That was one of the worst accents I've ever heard.
Just say you like my hat
for the whole movie.
It was so bad. I don't even know what the movie was called, but I know that line and a couple lines from it. But yeah, it's just like.
At least it wasn't as bad as who's the guy in The Matrix?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, when Keanu Reeves played in that French Renaissance film, and he said, "Oh, I challenge you to a duel, dude." And he didn't say "dude," but he might as well have, because that's what he sounded like. Know. Yeah. And I mean, everybody else was speaking in this perfect French accent except for him. He's like, "I challenge you to a duel." What?
A lot of people hating on the Boondock Saints. It's got a soft spot in my heart. I enjoyed it from long ago, and it's one of those. There's a lot of movies that especially when you're younger, if you like it a lot, you end up, as you grow up, you just never kind of grow out of it.
Yeah, like Behind the Green Door gets me every time, regardless, because I saw it first when I was like 13, right? You know, it was in somebody's supposed porn stash. Yeah. And I watched it, and I thought, damn, that chick's hot. And she was hot because she was actually doing commercials for, was it Ivory Soap or something at the time? Pulisic's wife. Those horrific kits drop tomorrow. Well,
this goes right into what I was going to pull up next.
I mean, first of all, can I just say this? Sure. Pulisic doesn't have a wife, and he doesn't even have a girlfriend. And I think he's a virgin.
Actually, he took that photo with that OnlyFans star, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, but he probably didn't pork her.
So, okay, maybe we should go back to my place. I got this. I gotta go get lunch. I'm good.
I think it
And
would help.
his friends are all ragging on him later, dude.
I think it would help him if he got laid. Though
All right.
his situation right now, holy shit.
Whoop. Let's not go quite there yet.
I know. We'll get into it.
Yeah,
He sort of played today.
sort of. Yeah, nice little. I saw one highlight of him making a nice change of field play, but
And that was about it.
yeah, okay then. I saw the game then. But since we're talking about the horrendous kits, I mean, come on.
All right.
Let's pull this up here.
Okay.
9:15. Let's get hyped. This is from U.S. Soccer. Please don't copyright us and all.
The most tone deaf motherfuckers on the planet. Here they go.
That was it. That was the promo. Hope you're stoked. You ready for it? One more time, just for those in the back.
No, we're gonna get a copyright strike. I guarantee it. Some's coming after us for that.
So Bentley, one of our listeners, says, imagine forcing Tim Way, the drippest player on the squad, to wear this piece of trash. Shaking my head. Hire someone in the Fed who isn't a boring ass 50-year-old white dude. And I responded saying, I'm offended on Derek's behalf.
I was gonna say, wait a second here, but I guarantee you, I do a better kit than that. Guarantee it. And it's not that they don't have younger people working on the stuff. The problem is the 50-year-old dumb fucks who have no idea about art and creativity and what actually looks good. They're the ones making decisions. Like, oh yeah, I like this one. Oh, this one is really hip. Look at this. It looks like tie-dye, but it's just black and blue. Oh, yeah. That's going to be awesome. No, you fucking moron. Well, no one's going to like that shit.
So Bentley was nice enough to say, nah, they need to hire both of you ASAP. Next thing you know, the sponsor's going to be Jack Daniels instead of Volkswagen.
Hell yes.
So I responded saying hydration breaks would be much more eventful.
They would be, and people would be cramping up left and right.
So drunk. Why'd you go for the bicycle? It was nowhere near you. Fuck it.
Yeah. All right. We got more?
I do have something we can talk about. I'm sure you heard the owner of Chelsea coming out saying that, maybe the EPL needs to have an All-Star game. An All-Star game. Maybe they should have an All-Star game.
Now, there's a dumb fucking over 50 white dude. Shut your trap. Do not talk about the fucking All-Star game in England. You fucking idiot. Have you learned anything in your fucking 3 months on the sidelines there? Talk to some English people and find out what the culture is. Nobody in England wants a fucking All-Star game. You fucking dumb cunt. Jesus Christ. Why do we always have to have the morons go over there? Always the morons. Do you
want to read Gary Neville here?
All right. I keep saying it, but the quicker we get the regulator in, the better. U.S. investment into English football is clear and present danger to the pyramid and fabric of the game. They just don't get it and think differently. They also don't stop till they get what they want. Ooh, wait, man. It's all about money. I haven't heard him complain about all the folks from the Middle East that own teams.
No, that's the funny thing. That somebody did mention that in the chat. If I scroll down the comments, you'll see that somebody's like, I don't see you bitching about the money that the American owners and Middle Eastern owners are pumping into your league. But I decided to quote tweet this and respond. I feel like we need a level-headed American response.
Not me calling somebody a cunt every 5 seconds.
So I wrote, skim the comments, so I may have missed it, but not a single mount up. Regulators! Mount up!
Oh, Jesus
Gotta
Christ.
meet you.
Regulators.
We're not gonna do that very long ago.
Oh, no.
we'll get struck for that shit.
That's for sure. No doubt about it. I mean, listen, I get what Gary's saying. A lot of American owners come in, they haven't done a great job, and I get it. I get the criticism. But again, the people running the club, just below them who are supposed to know football, they've been doing a good job either, and they're English. Not American. So the owners are relying on these guys to make good decisions on their behalf because they honestly don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, they know Ronaldo's son really was a great player, a few years ago, but now he's not. So when the Chelsea owner goes, hey, let's go after Ronaldo, and the coach says, what? That guy's on his last leg. No, he's good, but he's on his last leg. We got to develop for the future. You know, Bowley shouldn't even made the recommendation, frankly, but he did apparently to the team.
Our chat group talking about it, like, you know, obviously there's some against it, some like, who fucking cares. The biggest argument against it, obviously, is that the schedule's already too jam-packed with so many different random cup games, league games.
That's not the biggest argument against it. The biggest argument against it is nobody would fucking care. I think a ton of people would watch. I think it would get crazy ratings if they did have it. Americans would watch it. The Brits would be sitting around going, "What the fuck are we doing? What's this garbage?"
It's all about the monies. Money.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, let's see. Just scrolling down through some stuff here. I do have one more thing before we talk about it. I know this is going to kind of leak into the topic itself, but I felt like this is funny enough to include in its own little beginning shtick, if you will.
All right. So
our good friend Berlin quote tweeted FC Union Berlin's tweet.
Uh-oh.
Says the tweet from Union was intentional. And Union said, ready for some UEL action? Berlin is trolling Berhalter.
Good.
And everybody's catching it. Everybody caught on quickly, immediately. But you know what? Gladbach did the same thing for Scally. So yeah, it's funny. It's funny that you hear a lot of the owners, not the owners, but just like fans and even the owners of these clubs. And whenever it's international play and like, oh, they're trying to make sure that the insert player here doesn't go or anything like that. But then you have all these other clubs here for the U.S. that are like pointing out, like, why didn't our player get called in? You know, this is kind of silly.
Yeah. I mean, but I can understand. They're like, what? I mean, he's one of the top scorers in the Bundesliga, and he's played quite well. So I don't, we'll get into that, but yeah, it's a real shame.
Scally tweets were very direct. Basically said, hey, Berhalter, you forgot somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not now, but this was like in the previous windows, like from last November up until the summer window.
I don't know if that really helps. I mean, I don't know if it helps. But
no, but it's funny for us fans.
I like teams sticking up for their players. And I think the fact that Pefok's going to miss this World Cup, if in fact that's what's going to happen, sure looks that way with Ferreira, Pepe, and Sargent being picked. And I have no problem with those three guys. But what happens when you're playing a certain way and that way is just not working? And you're obviously
throw the same type of player in.
Yeah. I mean, there's really not a lot of difference between Sargent and Pepe, and then Ferreira's just a smaller version of the two guys that we just talked about, so who can't really hold up the ball and can play a false nine, I guess. But I mean, anybody could do. I think Sargent could do that too fast. I just don't think that, the three same players playing the exact same way is what you need. You need Pefok. You need that option with 20 minutes left and you're down 1-0 and you're going to be crossing fucking heaving balls into the box. You need a 6'3" guy in there who is really good at poaching and heading to put it away for you. Okay, you could say, well, Sargent's really good. Well, maybe Sargent's already had 70 minutes and he's exhausted. Maybe Pepe isn't available because he has a hamstring injury during the World Cup. We don't know. We might lose one of those three guys, and then you're down 2. Listen, you bring Pefok. You just have to. It's almost absurd. And I know the fact that Gregg is making this all about his system is not okay. And I know guys are saying, oh, well, fuck it. It's his system. Let him do what he's going to do. It's not okay because Gregg has no next plan. When plan A fails, plan B is non-existent. And we just lost a plan B player who can play up top. If we decide to play two guys up top,
we can do it. We break into the 3-4-3 and play the exact same way. What are you talking about?
I know. Exactly right. But, let's say for an instance, hey, you know what? Gregg Berhalter just comes to the idea, you know what? Versus this team, we should play 2 forwards up top together. Let's say, like a Sargent Pefok combo and play Sargent a little underneath Pefok, I mean, but no, we don't even have that option now. But that is because Gregg is so full of himself in his fucking system And he's so married to it, he doesn't realize that sometimes in the World Cup, because you know who figured it out, Klinsmann, you have to be flexible.
Let's go to plan B.
Exactly.
What's plan B? To try plan A.
It's too bad. It really is. It's too bad.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
Oh, my goodness.
There's still a lot of good players on that roster, and we'll get into it. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And without leading too much into it, Derek, you and I are right. Almost 100%.
I think
I even talked about Pefok's exclusion and that it was going to be Pepe because somebody else brought it up on Twitter. So I think outside of Stefan, we were 100% right. And we even kind of said that too.
No, I said Stefan wasn't going to make the team.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah.
And he shouldn't make the team.
Between the two of us, we were 100% right.
Absolutely, we were. I mean,
I feel kind of slimy being all up in Gregg like that.
I know. It's like we were way up in his colon somewhere. I need a fucking bunch of toilet paper. A shower. Straight up shower. But yeah, we got it right. I mean, I was shocked looking at it. I'm like, we got that right. Got right. Oh, but you know what? A lot of people got pretty close to right too. Exactly. So at this point, I think Pete did too. I think
it's basically 95% set because if everybody's guessing, the vast majority of players minus a player or two, I think most people were confused. And again, we're going to get into this more, but of the players that they wanted to see that were excluded, like I said, like the Vasquez's, even jumping into the Mendez.
There were all explanations for those.
EPB, all that stuff.
Mendez.
Yep, it's a talking point. People are talking about it.
It's not a talking point, and they need to stop talking about it. Tell me when he plays for more than one game in a row for PSV. And
Mendez, not Ledesma.
Vizela guy.
Yeah, he plays consistently.
Yeah, very poorly on a poor team. I'm sorry, I don't know what people are watching, but he's got a ways to go. Why do I always mix up those two players?
I don't know.
Why do I do that? It's so fucking dumb. Like, pay attention.
I think Yuli would be more easy to mix up than Ledesma.
Well, I used to mix all three of them up.
Yeah.
So at least now I'm down to two.
Isn't he at Wolves? No, not Wolfsburg. No, that's Lena's. You know. But what about Mendes? Mendes is Portugal. That's right.
I think it's because they all end in EZ, except for Ledesma doesn't. So that threw that theory out the window. All right, why didn't Gregg call up my boy Aaron Johansson?
Because he's a sausage patty guy,
and he's retired.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sort of. He plays in Iceland again for some. I don't know if he's still even there anymore, but that's where he moved. That's when we blew kisses and said goodbye. It said how few looks Mix Discarud gets. Well, he doesn't get many looks because he plays on an island called Cyprus.
Is that where he's at now?
Hey, he's been there for 2 seasons, I think. Maybe 3, maybe us 2. I mean, he played regular in Turkey in the top division. He was a starter. So I just think his ship has sailed. Yeah. But you know that, S27. Yeah. You know that. Yeah, no that's shit. The ticket. All right, so.
What happened to Tyler Boyd? He sucked.
He is washing dishes for Besiktas.
Sorry, Tyler. I mean, you just played poorly and have not improved.
Yeah, very
since
weird.
Your debut for the U.S. So many years ago.
Yep, played well in that first game too.
Mm-hmm.
And we were
he made the one-time switch. He came out and he played excellent that first game, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, he's the next thing."
Yep.
And then it just went.
Yeah, it's like the air slowly came out of his asshole, and he were afloat. Tactical Manager TV. Hey, chat. We yelled at you earlier, at least. No, I didn't. No, I yelled at Sam. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Breck Share Mixed Discarud. What? Better with handling snakes? I'm not sure. I'm going to say that's got to go to Breck Shea.
Well, I mean, if it's going to be who's going to, mock wear the New Jersey, you got to go with the Jesus Mixed Discarud.
Well, I have to say, as far as being
flowing locks, he still has his flowing locks.
I don't know. He probably
the best part of his game.
They're both good-looking guys, but I'm going to have to give that to Mixed Discarud as the better-looking guy.
The Llama was a good-looking guy.
Apparently, he was good enough in SC Dallas that he had lost 3 teammates in a row as his roommate because they couldn't stand the fact he was up till.
He's a sexaholic and he's got a big dick, probably.
He probably does. I mean, the snake is what they called him.
Yeah.
The boa. The
anaconda. Not the grass snake or
no, not the
red wiggler.
The garden snake.
Yeah.
No, he's got a full up anaconda going on down there, apparently. And yeah, different girl every night too. So, but that was back in his FC Dallas days. I'm sure that's over now. But those are facts. I'm not making that up. That's not a joke. That is true. I know people who told me about it. So
all 3 legs. Oh, crikey.
Doing the Old Smoky tonight again. I'm really into this shit. I think I'm going to do it every show now. I just like the Old Smoky that much. And it is butter pecan flavored whiskey. It's goddamn good.
Again, you should find it in a bigger container instead of buying these small little $1 ones.
I almost bought it today, but then I thought, you know what? If I drink like half a bottle of that in a night, which I might because it's so tasty, I'm going to barf all over the place.
Just pour yourself a tumbler, put the rest of it in the fridge, which I'm guessing is that room behind you.
Yeah. No.
And then, and don't go back to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good plot. My problem is if I really like it, it's going to be really hard for me not to go back and have a second glass. All right, just one more. Just third one. But it is good, and I did see if you buy the big bottle, it's $22. It's not bad.
How big is the big bottle for $22?
Just like a regular.
Was it a Mason?
Kind of like it's round. It's got it's a round, and then at the top, and it's kind of like a fancy, but it's still like a normal whiskey, 4th, 8th. What? I mean, I can't remember.
A 5th, probably.
A 5th. Thank you. God damn it.
That's a handle.
That's a handle. Jose Reyes, if Pefok continues to produce at this level and Gregg doesn't bring him to Qatar, I hope Gregg steps on a fucking Lego barefoot. I'm sure he's already done that. He's had kids.
Son of a bitch.
Motherfucking leave the pointiest piece right in the middle of the rug. I said I was going to throw a metaphorical brick at his house, but I don't know where he lives, so I can't do that, even metaphorically.
He's got an office in Chicago.
I know, but I could
track that down.
Yeah, but
what floor is he, huh?
They're moving, and he's currently working from his house. So I can't drive up to his window, the outside of his house, and go, I'm throwing a metaphorical motherfucking brick through your window, Gregg, you piece of shit. So there you go.
Gregg's going to be like, I metaphorically don't care. And then the brick actually flies over his head. It's like, shit.
He doesn't care. I mean, he's really focused on him right now.
Yeah.
This whole World Cup's really about him and his system. Did you know that, Brett? That's what
I knew he was trying to change the way the world sees soccer.
Exactly.
Oh,
and he's going
to pull that up real quick.
And he's going to do it by leaving 2 of the best players we have off his team, Brooks and fucking Pefok.
Well, of course.
Guys that are succeeding in the Bundesliga. Fuck that. That's overrated.
Here we go. Since I brought that up. The
fact
changing the way the world views American soccer.
The fact that Pepe couldn't make a dent in the Bundesliga, not a big deal. Compared to Pefok, he's so much better than Pefok. We want to change the way the world views American soccer for the better, right? For the better, right?
This was an absolutely perfect meme. I'm not sure if Grant made it himself. He does like to do those deep fakes, I think. I'm not sure it's definitely not a Photoshop, so it's got to be a deep fake.
It's Tuberville, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Tuberville.
He says Tuberville? We don't know what he says. He's never
T-U-R.
said it. I get it. Tuberville.
It's Tuberville.
Tuberville.
By far one of my favorite memes, though. This is perfect. Look at that. Look at that look.
What if this was actually Grant Wall? This is what he does behind the scenes when he's free to be himself.
Yeah. Are you saying this Grant is just a sock puppet account for Grant Wall? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
I don't know if Grant's in the chat here, but I'm absolutely going to make sure that's going to be a thing from now on.
That's his creative side.
Yeah.
Grant Tuberville.
Everybody go on Twitter and start that. Say,
no one will believe it, but
Grant
what the hell?
Tuberville equals Grant Wall.
People believe that Miazga actually kicked fucking, Gregg's dog. So if that's possible, then anything can be possible.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
All right. Next, by the way, is my potable of the evening is La Fin Dormant, one of the best beers in the world. Made in Canada. It's a Belgian ale made in Canada. They're doing something right there in wherever this. I used to remember where they made it. I can't remember right now. It's on the bottle somewhere.
Dog kick isn't true? What? No, it's true. It's true. Allegedly.
Right. Unibrow. That's the name of the company that makes this. And damn, they do a good job.
Just leaning into their flaws, aren't they?
Who are?
Unibrow. You got a unibrow.
I think brow is for beer. He's not a basketball player. This is a beer. God damn it.
David D. 100 proof in Canada means 50% maple syrup.
That's why I don't drink their maple syrup or their whiskey.
Mm.
Although they do have some good whiskeys, don't they? I thought they did. I might be wrong about that.
Canadian dry?
Well, they have some bad beers like Moosehead and Molson Golden.
Moosehead is a phenomenal beer when you've been outside working. It's 100 degrees. You come inside and you just need something cold with carbonation that has an alcoholic volume to it.
When's the last time you saw somebody drinking a Moosehead? Seriously, I mean, honest question.
Drink it quite often, actually, at my parents' house.
You do?
Yes.
Well, you're single-handedly sustaining their whole operation.
It's very possible. I might be. You never know.
Because I've been seeing a person drink a Moosehead since I was probably 15.
It wouldn't be my choice if I went out to the bar. I'll put it that way. But
I don't think it's horrible beer. I don't. I think it's horrible. It's just, it's not this. Let's put it that way.
Brett just has a cup. Derek has a fancy cup.
I do have a fancy cup. It is a Belgian drinking, I don't know what they call these. Goblet? It's not a goblet.
Mm-hmm.
What this is. I don't know what they call Belgian drinking beer glass. This is what this is. All right, you want to move on? You still have more ridiculous?
I don't have any more ridiculous to go off of. We're about 38 minutes in.
All right, let's do it.
Might as well pip it.
So let's start with the guys that played today. Des went 12 versus Zagreb for AC Milan in a win. I can't really say that the summary of the game helped me determine anything about how he played, but he only got 12 minutes, so I don't know what you can expect in 12 minutes. CCV went at 90 in a tie versus Shakhtar Donetsk, and you would think maybe that was a game they had a chance to win, but they did not. He didn't play particularly poor or anything like that, but he didn't shine either. Sands, on the other hand, oh, God, continue to prove my point that this boy's got a long way to go to grow. All right.
I saw the guy absolutely stomped. I didn't read anything about the game.
Yeah, he played 55, and he got a red card.
Oh, so he was the red card.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
David said red card.
Yep. And he gave, and then the poor fucking McGregor, the goalkeeper for Rangers, saved 2 penalty kicks.
Jeez.
All right.
You're saying the slaughter that he took could have been worse.
It could have been much worse. Sands got basically his ass saved by McGregor.
Do you think Sands was a little depressed about not being included? That's
no.
Why his mind was like, I should have been called. Why didn't Gregg call me?
He just watched Sands' last 3 games and said, nah. Malik Tillman got 7, but the game was over at that point. Pulisic got a whole fucking 6 minutes for Chelsea in their tie versus Salzburg. God, Chelsea are awful. Even with a new manager, they look well. At least they played 4-2-3-1. I'll give them that. They looked better on the offense, and they didn't look like they were just ticky-tacking around the goddamn field all game. But they still tied Salzburg in a game they desperately needed to win. And I think that game was at home, too. Even worse. Now, here's the worst news.
Was invited to dinner.
Yes. As far as attacking players go, okay. Yes, Pulisic had a nice cross. As far as attacking players go, here are the list of players who got on the field before Pulisic did in the 84th minute. The following players started: Sterling, Mount, Havertz, and Aubameyang. All played in positions that he could play. So that's 4. Then they brought in Loftus-Cheek, Ziyech, and Broha before they brought in Pulisic. Pulisic finally came in the 86th minute. So that puts him at 8th place as far as attacking options for Chelsea right now. Wow. 8th place.
Maybe they're saving him for this weekend's games.
No.
Maybe.
Let's be real at this point. This is not good. He should have gotten the fuck out of there. But he can't.
Well, I'm sure he wanted to get the fuck out of there.
Yep. But they wouldn't take any offers. So there you go. Reina went 62 in a loss to Man City. I didn't see the 62 because I got home. And of course, even though I own Paramount Plus, guess what? When the game ends, you have to wait almost 7 hours before you get to watch the replay. And by then, you've lost the fucking interest in it. So, I mean, not me. I'll watch it again because I want to watch the 62 minutes that Reina played. But I pay for this, right? I'm paying for it. When the game's over, can it immediately be dumped into replay, into in demand? What's so hard about that? That's not difficult to do.
Shouldn't be that difficult.
ESPN does it all the time. It takes them like half an hour to get the actual game that you just missed on demand. Come on, guys.
Speaking of Paramount Plus, I found out that Amazon was charging me. My Prime account was charging me random charges. So I went on and took a look what they had. So I have an account with Paramount Plus for $5.99 a month.
Yeah,
paying that. That's what I'm paying.
Yep.
I found out that through Amazon, I was paying $9.99 a month for Paramount Plus. So in theory, I had 2 accounts that I was paying $16, $17 for.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Oh, you fuckers. So I got rid of the $9.99 one, obviously. I figured keeping the $6 one was financially more reasonable.
It certainly is.
Then I found out there were a bunch of other things that Amazon had been charging me for months. Like I had Ryan's Life. Great. That's awesome. I'm stoked about watching that.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I had Amoeba. I don't know what the fuck that is. I had Stars. Why the fuck would I have Stars?
Yeah, you need to go get that Roku thing.
I went on that Roku thing.
Yeah, that's what I have. I got the Roku.
I've got Fire Sticks. I've had Fire Sticks for years, Derek.
Yeah, Fire Sticks are old news, Brett. You got to get the newest, latest, hottest equipment.
Fire Sticks are as equivalent of Roku. In fact, Roku kind of sucks donkey balls.
No, Roku adapted that idea, and then they put it inside the TV so you don't need a stick anymore. See? That's how smart they are.
You have a smart TV is what you have. It's
stickless, and that's how I like my women, too. All right. Can we get on to...
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go.
Okay, so yeah, he's 8th in the that's Pulisic. So McKennie, and we talked about random. McKennie went 90 in a loss to Benfica today. John Brooks didn't get in for Benfica, but I have to say, that goal by Benfica on the penalty kick by Joao Mario was total jackassery bullshit. He totally stops at one point. His run to the ball absolutely stops, complete stop, and then starts running again. As far as I know, that's illegal. That's an illegal penalty kick. Should never have been. Anyhow, that was just bullshit. And then, okay, McKennie was kind of looked like a lost little boy in this game for most of the game. Like he didn't know, a lost like a sheep or a lost. I don't know. He just looked lost. He looked like the ball was never around him. Like it never came to him. Nobody actually said, "Here, McKennie, here's the ball. Take it." Like Milic made this amazing run down the right, and then McKennie busted his fucking balls to run into open space right down the middle. He would have been wide open. He could have walked the ball into the goal, and Milic didn't pass it to him. That's sad. So I don't know if he looked. I mean, did he look heavy? I don't know. Maybe
in the previous games, he didn't look as spelt as he was in his prime before he broke his foot. But he definitely didn't look like he did last October, whenever it was that September, October, whenever we first started qualifying.
Was that Twinkie month?
Might have been. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, he
had one too many Chipotles.
Mm-hmm. Could be drinking too many beers, having too many parties. I don't know, but he does need to get completely fit. Although he played 90, he looked gassed at the end. Honestly, though, he really did. Weston was the best player on the pitch. Well, but Juventus got dominated by Benfica. Absolutely dominated.
Well, that's not out of the ordinary. I didn't get to watch the game because obviously I was at work at the time, but that's not out of the ordinary for Juventus at this point.
I just looked at the stats after 50 minutes, and Benfica had way more passes connected and a higher passing percentage, and they just had better opportunities throughout the game, in my opinion.
If Juve keeps playing the way they are, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets shit canned soon.
Yeah, but they're locked into a gigantic contract with him. So if they fire him, they still have to pay him. And guess what? Juventus is not the Juventus of old. They don't have a lot of fucking cash laying around between the cracks of their asses and balls. They can't just pull it out whenever they need it. So I don't think they're going to get rid. I think they're just going to ride him.
Well, I think the time of the big money spenders are going to go the way of the dodo at this point. They're going to have to revert back to the old school of actually producing their own talent and paying less on transfers.
We might see wages go down for the top players in the world, actually.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because people are just like, no, I'm not spending $120 million. No, that's not happening. I'll go with the $80 million guy and save some fucking cash. So then we got
for a couple 20 million guys and have a well-rounded team. How about that?
Yeah, just have a 20 million player at every instead of like an 80 million.
You'd field an entire team for the 120.
Yep, exactly. Some teams tried that, like Sargent's Norwich did in the Premier League. That didn't work out. A lot of bargain basement deals, like 12 million guys. And anyhow, Sargent did, however, score again. Although you won't be able to see it on YouTube.
Probably up now.
You might be now. I don't know.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. Bristol, that was against Bristol in a 3-2 win. And then Horvath went 90 for Luton in a 2-2 tie versus Coventry City. Gooch went 90 with Reading. Again, playing, I think, pretty impressively, Gooch. I mean, I have to give him credit. And
Gooch has been coming up more and more on the Twitchers. They're finally recognizing. And don't get me wrong, when he was at League One, we reported on kind of.
We had to, but we weren't going to be like, but he's playing well, but he's in League One.
Yeah, and he's doing well now in Championship. Mm-hmm. Every game I've seen him play, he's standing out. So
yeah, I think so. So we'll keep an eye on him for maybe next time around. But Fulham's U21s, Borto and Tanton started. Borto's a goalkeeper. Tanton is a defender. They both went 90 in a 5-4 win versus Hull's U21s.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I just say this about Kate Abdo on
sure
Paramount Plus? She's a beautiful, very smart woman, but please cut those fingernails. Give me the creeps. They're so long. You already have very thin, long fingers, Kate. Don't make yourself into the Wicked Witch of the West with those super long nails. And it might be an anti-fetish.
Poop bacteria too, man. You know it. It's gross.
Well, I'm just sorry.
Super gross.
One of the first movies I saw as a kid was Cinderella? And then there was the Wicked Witch, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. And of course, in that movie, she has those really long fingers. That's what it reminds me of. And I'm just like, oh, come on, Kate. Cut that shit.
Mirror on the Wall, like Sleeping Beauty?
Was that Sleeping Beauty? Yes, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. She turned, because she turned, I don't know.
But she actively went out and put her to sleep. That's pretty positive it was, yeah.
Right, and then the dwarves had the gangbang with her,
yes.
Right? Okay, so it's Sleeping Beauty.
I think that's a scene straight out of Kill Bill 1, I think.
All right, so that's what happened today. All right, you want to put up the roster as it was released today?
Sure, we can do that. Can you read that? Is that too...
A little bigger. That's what she said.
It's a picture, so I don't think I can get any closer.
Nope, you just did. You did.
No, I mean, it zooms out. It zooms back in.
Oh, as soon as you zoom out, they're like, no, rejected.
Yeah.
I know you want it that big, but fuck off. No.
Hold on. Keep chatting.
Maybe if you made the screen bigger, like you pulled the edges out, it would grow.
It's a picture off of Twitter. So hold on one
just
second.
use the U.S. website one or U.S. Soccer. Although I hate to give them credit for anything, those fucking sucking motherfuckers. Although that's kind of redundant since it already stands for stupid, unbelievable motherfuckers is what some stands for. Yeah, and I even tried to be nice. I called them and said, hey, remember me? We used to talk back in the day. Can you stop fucking hitting us up on that shit? Nope.
Yeah.
No response. I left a message, 2 messages, very nice ones, very nice messages. Hey, man, remember us? Nope. He's like, fuck off. You guys hang out with Pete now. Fuck you. Fuck you. And you hang out with Cat.
Somebody told me to not take you seriously.
Yes, you should have stayed smart and hung out with Sam. And that's no offense to Sam, but they like Sam. All right. They used to like us. All right, goalkeepers. This was not a shocker. We told you that Stefan shouldn't be there. He hasn't earned it. He isn't even the first. He could have played in midweek for Middlesbrough, and the coach already said, nah, he was going to be riding Pine.
And, it didn't really help Middlesbrough out, so.
Well,
it still lost like 2-0 or something like that.
Yeah, I guess, but I think their goalkeeping's been better without him. I hate saying that, but the other goalkeeper's looking better in those games. Then Stefan looked unreliable, unconfident coming out for crosses and corner kicks. Like he couldn't dominate his box like a good goalkeeper should. Right?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Oh, with the
dominating her box. What was that? Hope Solo?
She's flying solo, I think, yeah.
Yes. Hope Solo's always said how important it is to dominate her box. And if you can get that done, she said.
Practice makes perfect, too. So
you cannot be penetrated, is what she said, if you dominate your box. All right. Defenders. Reg Cannon. We already said that because we just know. I mean, he's one of Gregg's favorites, and he can play in the back three and in a fucking hurricane that kills all your other right backs. He could play it right back as in his normal setup, but not well. CCV, you start with him.
Well, yeah, we called that out too.
Yes.
Quite frankly, I mean, the big question mark there would have been whether it was going to be CCV or EPB, and Gregg
XYZ.
definitely element OP. Gregg made a point to make a trip out to see the Old Firm play. So,
well, and I told you the only reason Sands was invited is because he didn't want to be rude, and I was right. So
CCV's like, Malik's like, well, what about Sands? And Berhalter's like, sure, send him the invite.
Yeah, bring him in.
I mean, there were only 3 chairs at the table, but I guess we can ask for a 4th. I mean, look how packed this place is.
So, yeah, we already told you Sands was going to make this team. Dest, yeah, of course. That's just not surprising. Aaron Long, we told you. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter that Matt Miazga's outplayed him since Matt Miazga's arrived in MLS. Long's going to make this team.
Yeah, and I don't want to go looking for it because Twitter can get pretty jam-packed. But somebody had asked, what's it going to take for Long not to be included in the roster? And I believe it was Chris Carey who said he'll have to kick Berhalter's dog.
I don't know. I think he'd be allowed to not only kick Berhalter's dog.
Hey, you know what?
But fuck it, too.
Miazga was an absolute regular up until he kicked the dog. So
I don't think it's going to be the dog. I think he'd let Long do whatever he wants with the dog. I think that that's how much he likes Long. It doesn't really matter what Long does, like not play well the whole season in MLS. He's still going to include Long because he likes it long. Chris Richards. I mean, I'm starting to wonder now that Long is, as predicted, made the team. If Richards is going to see any playing time except for maybe minor minutes at the end of games because he's not playing. I don't know. I think Gregg loves him some Long.
I think him and Long are going to split games. This
you think so? You think so?
Yeah, Berhalter has to have a replacement suitable, and you need to make sure that they have chemistry built up. So yeah, I think they're going to split.
I think Zimmerman and Richards already have chemistry.
Sure. But the whole point of this window is to continue developing that chemistry.
Yeah, I wish he'd just continue developing it with Richards, with Long smoking a joint on the sideline. Joe Scally, we were kind of like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? And I had him, so I'm glad.
So did I. So, yeah, I think the fact that Jedi is injured, I think, opened the door for Scally to be included. Because our only option outside of Vines, which we both were like, has to be included.
Yep.
The only option at that point would be either to use Dest as your other left back or bring in Bello.
Yep. Bello. I just choked on my own spit. Please. No, I am thanking God and Bielefeld for him not being on this team. I am thanking Bello himself, who played himself right off this team. Weed isn't going to cut it if you're a defender in Berhalter's system. You need to be higher. Yes, you've got to be so high you can understand Berhalter's gibberish. His gibberish. All right. And then we had
Lions.
Yep.
So Yedlin.
Yedlin, yes, we knew that. He's
that was an obvious one. He's Berhalter's backup to right back, guaranteed.
He's a leader in the locker room. You know, he'll clean your cleats.
Literally, the only person on this roster that has World Cup qualifying or World Cup experience.
He makes inspiring speeches. He's got great tattoos. So yes, you bring Yedlin. Yes,
and he's clean cut. It's hair again. He's got it going.
Oh, is he? Is he?
Yeah, he's clean cut again. Yeah,
he's trimmed up again, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we got Walker Zimmerman. I mean, it's not even news.
Who would have been surprised on that one?
Yes, exactly. I mean, Zimmerman would have to have had a serious injury. Kellen Acosta and Tyler Adams, it's chalk. It's just chalk. It's just like, making your NCAA picks. Luca De La Torre, yes, even though he's not playing, which is concerning. Dude, and
Acosta has the second most caps in this roster outside of Yedlin.
I think Pete said, "Hey, don't worry too much yet about Luca De La Torre." Well, Pete, I'm going to start worrying right now. How's that go? I'm doing it right now. I am worrying about Luca De La Torre's future at Celta Vigo. I just think that how can a guy who played so well when he actually did come and get some minutes still get 0 minutes? What the fuck is going on?
Well, unlike Matthew Hoppe, he's learning Spanish right now, so he'll be in the lineup after Christmas.
That's like my parents. Why didn't you teach me German? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why did you stop speaking it when I was 6 years old and never speak it again? That's stupid. And in this case, Luca De La Torre's parents probably should have taught him how to speak Spanish. But they had their reasons, just like my parents had mine. I moved here with a German accent, and they didn't want me to speak German anymore. They thought that wouldn't work out real well for me. Greg Berhalter.
You haven't seen Greg Berhalter's puppy for a while. Welcome back.
Yeah. Hey, it's been a while. By the way, Long did the old peanut butter trick with me today.
That's how he got the call up.
That's gross. And if you're gonna name yourself Greg Berhalter's little puppy, I would have a photo of an actual. Oh, but he isn't kicking him.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
What is it? Is that a pug?
It's so small.
It's a pug.
I can't see it. I wish it were bigger.
Pug or a cat, one of the two.
Yeah, that's what she said. All right. And then Weston McKennie, of course. But boy, I hope Weston starts pulling it together. I really do. I mean, the earlier poster said he was the best player on the field. I guess it didn't seem that way to me. I felt like he got left out a lot, and I don't know. Yunus Musa, he's on a pseudo hot streak.
Yeah,
this was no surprise, and we predicted Malik Tillman as well. So
Mega Monster, I don't think the language is necessarily a barrier. It was kind of a talking shtick with Hoppe over at Mallorca. It might be an issue.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But, to be honest, Luca De La Torre and Matthew Hoppe share a lot of the same character traits.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, hey, fuck you, I should be playing kind of guys. And I don't know how well that goes over in Spain. It didn't work for Hoppe in Mallorca. And it actually didn't work very well for Hoppe with Gregg either. hey, fuck you. Why are you taking me out of the game? I'm the best player on the field. I mean, you just can't say that kind of thing. So
Gregg didn't like being proven wrong.
But then they took that lovely photo together.
Yeah.
All right. Then we get to the forwards. Brendan Aronson, yes, that's a given. Paul Arriola, yeah. I mean, once Weah comes back, it's going to be Arriola versus Morris for that final spot. So they might have a wrestle off in the locker room after the second game between Morris and Arriola. A wrestle off.
So it's interesting to look at this because this is obviously 26 players. What's interesting though is you look at some of the other teams in the windows, and they're bringing like 31, 32 players in.
We already know why.
I know we've talked about it, but it's funny that that whole 85%. I mean, I feel like it's at this point there's no testing outside of like 2 players, maybe 3, but regardless, Arriola was going to be a guarantee on this roster, even with Weah. He's flying too high.
So this is how this works. It either happens after the game in a gymnasium somewhere in a high school, or it happens right after the game in the locker room. Both players strip down, nude, cover themselves in baby oil, and wrestle it out for the spot. And so I think we might have a baby oil wrestle off between Arriola and Morris. And of course, the rest of the team is in a circle around them going, yeah, go Morris or go Paul. And some of them are jerking it. But hey, in the end, we get the decision made, right?
There's a whole, like, I think it's called there's a Turkish wrestling out there or something like that. But it's literally like 2 dudes in like leather pants, oiled up, and they're wrestling each other to get down, but they're constantly reaching in their pants, trying to grab each other's wang to get a good, you know.
I like that you used the word Wayne instead of Wang. I
said Wang.
Oh, did you? I like Wayne better. Trying to grab his Wayne. Bruce Wayne.
Like, no, get out of there. Stop that.
Quit trying to grab my Bruce Wayne, man. All right. So, all right. It's just like Ferreira is a chalk. Morris is chalk. We told you that. Ricardo Pepi. That one's the big surprise, right? Pepi just got to Groningen. He got an assist, but he hasn't scored for a year.
It was and it wasn't. We both talked about how we both picked. We both said Pefok should be there.
We did. We said that.
But we both also said that most likely Pepi is going to be included. Mainly because I was saying that primarily because on Twitter people were saying leaks are that Pefok are going to be there, and you had Twellman's whole thing that Gregg doesn't rate Pefok, and then you had another commentator, another pundit.
Can I just say something real quick about Gregg doesn't rate Pefok?
Yeah.
If he doesn't rate him, he's a moron.
Now, in his system, though,
we
talked about the almighty system.
I know. If he's saying he doesn't fit my system, that's a whole nother thing. I still think that's stupid, but I do at least see the rationale for a very arrogant coach who thinks the whole fucking World Cup's about him and his system.
Yeah.
I can see him thinking that way, and that's unfortunate for Pefok because
absolutely is. Yes,
I think he's a great addition to the team. So maybe in the end, we dump one of those midfielder or defenders, and maybe Pefok makes it as the number 4 center forward. But I highly doubt it, just because Gregg's never really brought. Most of the time, he just brings 3. Sometimes he's even brought 2. So
the other pundit I was going to say earlier, and this may have been a troll on the Twitters, but somebody said that Gregg he wants more from his strikers than just scoring.
That's what McBride said.
Was McBride? Okay, yes, that's right.
In the interview.
Something legit. So, it's just
McBride
you take that into consideration. You take in the formation. You take what Twellman said. The writing was on the wall.
Here's how not Jimmy, not Heath, but Charlie Chuckwagon Davies should have responded when McBride said that. He should have said, listen, Brian, does that mean you would not have made a World Cup team if Gregg were the manager? Because that's what I would have asked him, because Pefok is a lot more like McBride than McBride is like Sargent or
Well, I mean, we know that Davies
Pepe.
didn't think that he's a good dribbler or anything. So
no, and McBride will
thank you
admit
for the roundabout, though. But yeah,
McBride was not a good dribbler. He admits it. He's like, I'm not going to blow by anybody dribbling. So that's what Pefok is a lot faster than McBride ever was.
Mm-hmm.
I think his pressing abilities way underrated. He and Becker do it all the time for Union Berlin.
And ironically, most fans when they're dreaming about having the 9 that they want, more often than not, people are like, oh man, if only we had McBride. We had McBride back.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of, like you said, we kind of have a McBride type.
So I mean, you cannot in one way kiss McBride's historic ass for doing what he did, and then at the same time come back and say, well, you know, he would have been good enough to play for Gregg. No, he wouldn't have been. Gregg would not play a player like McBride, even if he were playing at Fulham and as a starter, because he doesn't fit Gregg's system. Now, do you see how arrogant that is? I think that's pretty fucking arrogant that McBride doesn't fit into your system, so fuck him. And that's what we're basically doing with Pefok. We're just saying, Pefok him, basically is what's going on here. And that's fine. Gregg can do it. I don't care. It's his fucking job, but
yeah.
Don't tell me he's not getting fucked. He's getting fucked right up the rectum.
I don't know. He's got 3 striker types, 3 strikers that he can bring, and he can bring multiple types to fit multiple roles.
Mm-hmm.
Again, to everybody's point, you don't even have to stop. You can still play your system. But let's say it's 20 minutes left of the game, and you need that goal.
Yep.
Who are you going to throw up there?
Yep.
I mean, Sargent would be your best bet at that point now.
Let's say Sargent's legs are gone in the 75th. You got 15 minutes left of the game, and you're down 1-0. You're not throwing Ferreira in. Maybe you throw Pepe in, but he's not shown the same poaching ability that fucking Pefok has. Pefok is a star at Augsburg and the Bundesliga. Okay?
Union.
Or in Union. For Union Berlin, I'm sorry. But
you're thinking Pepe there.
Pepe doesn't even play for Augsburg. Didn't play. I'm sorry. And they're one of the worst. They are the worst team in the Bundesliga.
And when he
couldn't play.
And when he did play, it wasn't that I mean, he didn't play exceedingly well by any means. Some games were just bad, and he didn't score. I don't even know if he assisted.
Now,
but
Pepe's team.
This isn't a bag on Pepe, by the way.
Pepe's team is horrible.
Yeah.
They're horrible. So it's not all on Pepe alone. But I'm just saying, here's a guy, they're both playing in the Bundesliga. One's kicking ass and is at the top of the table and scoring in the Bundesliga, and the other one gets sent away to Groningen because he's not going to play any minutes. And he needs to prove that he can play minutes so we can make the World Cup. And he just played one game, and now he's on the fucking team. I don't know. I see a lot of horseshit there.
Well, and I saw because Gregg will Gregg, and this has become a thing now. But Gregg's going to Gregg, and that means that he's going to pick guys that he's confident with, he has trust in. Pepe has played in Gregg's system for the bulk of the qualifying, so it doesn't surprise me now that he's finally getting playing time and he got his assist that he's getting called up over Pefok.
No, it's not surprising. You're absolutely right about that. It's not surprising, but if you're going to say, well, it's Gregg and we should just.
It's interesting looking at
some people are acquiescing at this point. I don't want them to acquiesce and go, well, it's just Gregg, fuck it. I mean, we can say that, but I just think Pefok got fucked, and we should say it. I think we should say it.
Take injury out of the equation here. Who does Roldan take over in the midfield for?
No one.
But he would. He would.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
We probably lose De La Torre or Tillman.
Yeah.
One of the two would go if Roldan was still healthy. Yeah. Wouldn't shock me at all. And I don't know. Maybe Gregg's learned something. Maybe he's learned he doesn't need Roldan.
Well, Roldan's injured right now.
I know, but even if he were healthy, maybe he's learned, well, we don't really need him. All he did was shine everybody's shoes anyhow. So, I mean, he was good at it.
Joke in the locker room. Hey.
He's really good at it, but fuck, CCV can do that. So could Scally. He could fucking clean shoes, So we don't really need him to do that anymore. And Yedlin, I mean, he's really good at that too. So yeah, I mean, you got all these players that can take up that role. They don't really need Roldan. Let's just be honest. They don't. And maybe
no, but I mean, it's one of those, a guy that Gregg likes. He's a nice guy, from what I understand.
Yeah,
Nobody's got anything bad to say about him.
No.
It's just, when you're talking about the World Cup and you're talking about 26 players, and you need to be able to make sure all 26 of those players can go on the pitch and perform.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe you have to make a hard decision at that point, but I don't know if he would have. Saying if
it's good point. Even as bad as Seattle's been this season, they've been piss poor.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. What do we have left on that list? Are we done?
We're done with the list, yeah.
Okay. So, I guess we'll end it with some questions, or do we have any?
Or and end it with some questions, or
I
don't know.
I already talked about all that shit.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and just go down the list here.
Yeah, let's just do it. All right. This tweet was deleted. What are your thoughts on this? Stefan Busco said Gio Reyna should absolutely not be called up. Well, fuck off. I'm done reading this already. That's the dumbest shit I've ever read.
I don't know if this is the one. I know Lawless said, hey, guys, stop deleting your tweets on the live show. It kind of kills the show. And I think Chris Gary had said, he's like, here you go. I think it was Chris, or maybe it was Filippo, said, here you go. I went ahead and saved it. And so I don't know if he was referring to this one or not. But yeah, so Gio should absolutely not be called up. The U.S. men's national team have caused
enough harm to his career already. He's hardly in shape to be a starter for Dortmund, even though he just got done playing 67 minutes, and then he played for another good chunk today. This guy just needs to shut up. He's hardly in shape to be a starter for Dortmund. You're hardly in shape to be making a comment. Who are ultra careful in his they have been ultra careful, which is why they're playing him now. This is just silly. No, you are silly. You are silly. God damn. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's insanely stupid. Basically saying, hey, you know what? A 19-year-old should never be included back in the national team ever again because he got injured once in September, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Was this the dumbass poster of the week?
Has to be, I imagine. I mean, I don't think it gets any worse. We'll see, I guess.
That's pretty bad.
Tad Euler. He says, super ready to sip on some Charles Schwab during this episode.
Ew, gross.
So back when we were talking about Charles Shaw, either I said Schwab or it sounded like I said it because I couldn't imagine saying Charles Schwab.
Maybe you were drinking.
It might have been. Who knows? I don't think that ever happened, Derek. I don't drink. That's some vile shit. You need to give that up.
All right, so that must be a joke. I didn't catch it because I didn't know.
No. It was in the comments section. I had a back and forth with him about it.
Yeah,
but I was like, oh, I might have said it. Fuck it.
Some Charles Schwab. Mitch Dizzy.
Can you zoom in on this?
A little more. Did you see the Dempsey and Rob Green interview last week on CBS? Yes, I did. Interesting one, to say the least. Gregg didn't mention Roldan by name when saying that Jedi, Stefan, and Weah would be included had they not been injured. Gregg didn't mention Roldan by name when saying that Jedi, Stefan, and Weah would be included had they not been injured. Has CR7 gone the way of Zardes and Leggett? Could be. We were just talking about that. As far as Stefan goes, he's not injured. He was listed as playable the last game for Middlesbrough, unless something's happened since then and he tweaked the left nut. That's all I can think of. But
well, the interview was what, last week? It said. So I mean, he was still technically injured last week. So maybe he made that decision before he got healthy and didn't make the 18.
Well, by the way, Brooks had back injuries. Remember that? Fake back injuries, and then he played the next game after not being called up. So they lie. They lie a lot. Did I see the interview with Dempsey and Rob Green? Yeah, I thought it was awesome, and especially the way they described like the differences in their reactions, and of course Rob Green's reaction when that goal went in was, "Oh fuck, I am so fucked. They're gonna tear me a new asshole. My family's gonna get their asshole torn. My friends are. Everybody is going to hate me in England. That's too bad." But Dempsey's like, well, for me, my sister just died. So to me, that goal was a gift from her. So that's why our reactions were so different. And because remember, after that goal, that's when he did his famous looking to the sky thing. So, yeah, I mean, I think Rob Green almost cried, I think, in that interview, if I remember right.
Like he looked, definitely some emotion going on. So, yeah,
he looked on the verge there. So,
props.
All right.
Let's.
Very huge.
Hold on. First off, I want to jump back to Mitch real quick.
Yeah.
Nothing in the name, Mitch. Nothing even in the question. Maybe he's got another one down below, but he didn't try to get us this week.
No Amanda hug and kiss.
Yeah.
No balls are ready. Nothing. All right.
Adam had to pick it up today.
He did.
Very huge.
Huge testes. Very huge testes. I get it. It's like when an Italian says it.
They were huge.
He had a very huge testes.
Huge testes.
They were ginormous. He was riding them like a bicycle. All right. Also,
punching them like a speed bag. What? No, what? Wait, what?
Also, Berhalter keeps talking about a pressing system. This is why Ream isn't here. I'm kind of nervous about him selling out on this pressing system with no plan B. Aren't we all? Does he really think we are going to press teams like England and Argentina? Man's a clown. Have to agree with those critical commentaries. Whether or not he's a clown, I would say he's quite arrogant.
I think the system is probably still going to happen. I think we're just going to be on the defense a lot. And
a lot more than he thinks.
It's going to be a lot of countering. Punch it up to Pulisic and Weah and see what they can magically do on 1v1 defending.
Well, then you're playing a lower block, right? If you're
you're kind of forced into it at that point.
Oh, well, wait. There are guys that can play a low block awesome. A low block. Brooks, Tim Ream, they both play low blocks like nobody's business. Okay. And, that's okay because I guess what Berhalter thinks is we're going to go there and we're going to spread the cheese on the crackers. Well, sometimes you're the cracker and sometimes you're the cheese. And Dirt versus England, we're most likely going to be the cracker, and the same thing against Argentina. So,
Derek, you and I are always going to be crackers.
You're more of a cracker than I am. All right. Here we go. Jose says, I know Pefok deserves it more, but I don't care. I always support Pepe. We love Pepe, too.
Yeah, nothing against Pepe.
In fact, just bring 4 center forwards, and I won't complain. He's my Paul Areola. Blind faith, he's my parent. Paul Areola laughing out loud. The kid has a really relatable story for many Mexican Americans. Plus, to be fair, he did save the U.S. men's national team in World Cup qualifications. I don't disagree with any of that at all. That's perfectly fine. And I don't think that he should have been left off. I just think there's room for one more center forward. That's all. Because you can play Sargent as a winger. Just count him as an extra winger that you can throw on. But you got to bring
he scored today, didn't he?
Yeah. You got to bring Pefok for a plan B. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That time where pressing just ain't working because you're getting worked. Your ass is getting fucked all over because you're playing a press and they're just crunching you. They're killing you with possession.
Jake, you're up late.
It's
or are you up early?
Old soccer. Welcome, Jake. I'm glad you're here. What's up, y'all? Long time no see. I know. I mean, we're on different time.
2:30 there or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
And on top of Jake, we got Sam.
What's up, Jake? Hey, Sam, I yelled at you at the beginning of the show. Yeah. You might want to go check that out. I mean, in all good spirits.
But, he yelled at you with a smile.
I did. I was like, Sam said we have attacking midfielders. Attacking mids. And I said, God damn it, Sam, 8s are not attacking mids. I know we've had this argument already, so hilarious.
You didn't want to take a chance of your baby also playing for England?
I moved back to the States 2 days ago. We're having a baby. Yeah.
Woo, I mean, congrats, by the way.
If he was born in England, he'd have the opportunity to be a dual.
Yeah.
Depending on your wife's nationality, with that I don't know, Jake. And that's none of my business. And I don't need to know, as they say. All right. Glad you guys are here. I mean, what
now we can get you on, man.
Yeah, we need to get you back. We've been on his show, but he needs to come on ours, and we've been talking about it for like half a year, it seems like, but we haven't been able to work out a time.
They need to be there for 5 years to get English citizenship.
Oh, so the wife is not English. Okay.
Even Jake says butt fuck England. Oh, sorry. I read that wrong.
Team, not the people. Well, I'm going to do that with a blow-up English doll when we defeat England.
She's got crooked teeth, so...
Yeah, well, no, thank God. That's the one thing that makes the doll better than a real British woman, is that she's got perfect teeth. Anyhow, that's kind of a
basically actually what ended up having is Derek bought a meth blow-up doll and just painted an English flag on it.
An English flag on her forehead, kind of like the Beavis and Butthead thing we do. Yeah, it's true. All right, we got Pepe, seriously? Somebody said Pepe, seriously? What a joke. What a joke. Berhalter is an absolute clown. Didn't he say that already? I was just starting to have some faith in Berhalter. How do you leave out a striker that is starting for the team that is currently leading the Bundesliga? Pepe, seriously? It's not really Pepe's fault.
No, but I think he's talking more about just the call-up itself, not necessarily calling Pepe a joke.
I get it. I think he could have solved the whole problem by just bringing 4 strikers to this. And in one game, you give 20 minutes to Jake, move back to the USA before the EPL All-Star Game. How the Brits would love a fucking All-Star Game. So here's the thing. Had he just brought 4 center forwards to this September window and gave Sargent a start, give Ferreira a start, and then have Pepe come in for the last 20 minutes of one game and have Pefok come in for the last 20 minutes of another game, everyone would have been happy. Everyone would have jizzed in their pants, and there would have been no problem.
Except for what if Pefok comes in, scores a brace, Pepe doesn't do anything, and then Pepe gets called in Qatar?
Maybe he didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, no goal scoring. 2 goals? That's crazy talk.
But you could not be more arrogant than Gregg Berhalter making this decision that he just made. Because Pefok gives you something. Players. Pefok gives you something that no other center forward we have can. He is a pure poacher in the box. He is brilliant at it. And we just lost that opportunity because Pefok is not that great of a poacher in the box, nor is Sargent that great of one. I just don't understand why you don't bring the best poacher you have and one of the best players you have. To me, it's just like saying, look at how important my system is to making decisions about who gets on this team, because it's my system and I'm Gregg and I'm really important. I don't want you to forget it, that this is all about me and my system, and I will shove it down your fucking throat until you like it. And that's what we got today, and that's why we've got Pefok. All right, got that off my chest again.
Regulators, mount up. This is Yank over there talking soccer.
You had Gary Neville. He's I don't
target on his back.
You're not allowed guns, so what was he going to throw at you? A dagger? A hammer?
Well, it's a slingshot.
A slingshot? Maybe a bow and arrow? You know, the English were good at that.
Longbow.
A longbow.
The English longbow.
Shit goes straight through you, that English longbow. I'm beginning to suspect Pefok also involved with the puppy kid. I don't think so. He loves dogs. There are 3 strikers, but only 2 games. Who gets the starts in your view? Well, that's a good question. I think Brett said it best when he said Sargent starts 1, Pepe starts, or Ferreira starts, or Pepe starts 1 of them, and then the other guy comes in for like 30 minutes, 15.
Well, I think Ferreira is a guaranteed start.
I think
just
Sargent
because Berhalter, he's been playing him and he's red hot with FC Dallas. So I think Berhalter is going to give Ferreira the start. I would like to see Sargent get the start of the next game because he's on fire for his club. And I think Pepe can come in for bit minutes here and there.
All right, you convinced me. I think it's Sargent and Ferreira starting each game, and I think Pepe comes in for 20, the last 20 for both, somewhere around there, not exactly 20. Jose, men. I really wonder if it's got to do with the language stuff. Hopefully not, because that's stupid. Oh, are we talking about De La Torre?
No, we're talking about Pefok.
Yeah, he doesn't speak English very well. Yeah, I mean, he could have pretended he was from Louisiana or something. Maybe that would have made it okay. Yeah. I don't know. But I think that's a dumb reason. He speaks enough, like kick me the ball.
Through. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah, and some of the language, French and English,
You
same
can say
thing.
names. You can be like Christian, or probably just say Felicity. Probably
Right. I mean, there are lots of words
Bully.
that are similar. So, I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult. So,
Chris Gregg goes on to say, I don't think he fits Gregg's system, his almighty system.
that's what Gregg thinks, but I think Gregg is absolutely wrong. I think he and Becker have proven that while they don't play a high press, they still press enough to cause the defenses to make mistakes. That's happened so many times for Union Berlin this season, where they stole balls or pressured into errors. So the midfield stole it. I think took the ball. I just think this is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And it was really horrible to have Brian McBride, who is Pefok but smaller, when he played, be the messenger of that. That's what's disgusting about it.
Yeah,
I mean, Brian McBride.
We've adjusted our play, and we're no longer playing with these big target strikers who do nothing but score goals.
Yeah, God bless McBride's soul, but man, he went to Satan on that one. He really did, and I have a problem right now with him.
So Jose actually has a live look at Gregg's phone conversation with Pefok. I don't make deals with peasants.
Jesus Christ. I don't think it went like that, but I can only imagine Pefok's shock on the other line. He's like, listen, Jordan, we're going to leave you off the 26. I mean, I hope you understand that right now we just need to make sure the system works. You know what I mean?
And
here's the other line.
Pefok starts speaking in French and subtitles. Gregg, I don't fucking understand you.
However you say, what the fuck are you talking about in French? That's what he said.
Yeah.
Was ist los? If you speak some German.
Markaloff.
Overall, I'm satisfied with this roster. Can you all get into a possible starting 11 against Japan? We will. Not tonight, but we will.
Let's just say it's going to be a 4-2-2-2.
Yeah, right.
End of show.
Right. We don't want to blow our whole wad tonight, Markaloff. So we're going to save some, like the Japan 11, we'll save that. I'm glad you're satisfied. I think you should be satisfied. I don't think there's any wrong with being satisfied. I think that's what should happen after.
Always look on the bright side of life.
That's right. If you aren't satisfied, then, I mean, that's the goal, right? So if you are, perfect. But while I am generally satisfied, okay, that's like having sex with a girl, and yes, it all ends well, right? Everybody's happy, It was generally pretty good. While that's satisfying, what I really wanted was this. Holy shit, awesome. And I didn't get holy shit awesome. I got just what I suspected.
Yeah, you're like,
it's going to be good, but it ain't going to be great.
You're like, holy shit, awesome?
Yeah.
There's a question mark at the end. Jose Lopez says the system is a fucking Sega Dreamcast. Back when the Dreamcast came out, I turned my Nintendo 64 in, got half the price docked off, and I felt so like I was like, I got the new hotness. This is gonna be baller. Yeah, the Dreamcast sucked donkey balls.
Yep,
sucked royal donkey balls.
And by the way, just to get back to my last point, real quick, just from a woman's perspective, this is how I would have seen it. And I'm not speaking for women, but like how a woman might have, reacted to having sex with me in college would have been like, yeah. It was good. It was satisfying. He's really good fucking, but he can't eat pussy with the shit, So there you go. You want the whole thing. You want the whole shebang.
Derek, you're not eating pussy. I'm just saying.
You got to be good at all things, and Gregg is only good at one thing: promoting Gregg's system and saying it's all about me.
He's good at buying me dinner, but everything else.
Everything else sucks. He's really good at small talk, but when it comes to exactly. No, it was never that bad. And I just use that as an example. It never really happened. Everybody was just blown away to be with me. All right. That's not true.
Simon Walker says all players are mid. Not sure what that means. Middling?
Middling? He could have used the word middling. That's sort of an English thing to say, right? Could have used middling. So is he really English? I don't know. Suddenly he's all waving the flags today again.
He's English.
Like, I mean, what English guy supporting the English team would also put up the flag of Great Britain? Really? I'm sure I'm not buying that. So what, you're also supporter of Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales all of a sudden? Because that's what that would mean. Flying the Union Jack. No, you're flying the Red Cross, buddy, on the white background. If you're really British or English, excuse me. Yeah, Brit would do the other thing. But no, there are no British, okay? Yes, we know what it means, Colin. We were just joking around about the word middling. We know what it means. Can we not joke around you? Do you not get jokes? We are kidding around. All right.
Jose brings it up, though. It's a troll. It has to be. Well,
yes, it is.
The account was created on August of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a safe bet. Mm-hmm. Who is the man behind the mask?
He pretends to be English, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Alex Martinez.
Got it.
I was peeved that I didn't see Clint Dempsey hosting the Champions League today. I'm guessing what he's meant to say. And also how many annoying, arrogant the Brits are getting about anything American. We beat them in the World Cup before. They haven't beat us ever. And you don't see it, and you don't see you stooping to their level. Listen, this is what the English do all the time. This is nothing new. They always pretend they have the biggest balls on the block, and they're wrong. They don't. Their balls are not as big as they think they are. They're people with bigger balls, or whatever, marbles, or bigger, whatever you want to call them. Jose Lopez
has the right answer.
He's 4-4-3. Just add a player. No one will notice. I like that formation a lot. So don't be peeved because Clint Dempsey signed a contract, and in that contract he said, listen, I'm not living in England, so I'll do a show with you guys one weekend every month, or one weekend every 2 weekends, or 2 weekends out of every month. I don't remember what the deal was, but Dempsey does not want to live in England. And he would have to do that in order to be on that show on the regular. Or he'd have to fly a lot. And he's not a big fan of that either. Yeah, because nobody wants to see Yanks talking about football. Is this another guy? Okay. Yeah, because nobody wants to see you Yanks talk about football. I'll put a Lamborghini out of my dick hole and you pull Lamborghinis out of your dick hole? That's disgusting.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
That's disgusting. And give it to the king when I hear a bucktooth hillbilly speak some sense about football.
A bucktooth hillbilly, he's making fun of the Scots.
Jesus. Again, making fun of the Scots.
I swear.
You're making no friends. And look, you have the Union Jack up. You shouldn't be talking shit about the Scots. Sit down, mate. That's the most made-up English thing you could possibly say. Nobody says that. Sit down, mate. Henry and Carragher, no football. Henry and Carragher, no football. Clit Dempsey, no Clit Dempsey. What the he knows his clit, I guess. He knows his clit action. I don't know. About Henri, he probably does too. Carragher, I'm sure he was a virgin until he got married. All right. Disparaging words.
Let's take that back, or England will lose against the U.S. in November. Even if he does.
Oh, is he talking to the other guy or me?
He's responding to Simon.
Oh.
Simon. Hello, my name is Simon. And I like to do drawings.
Drugs. Jonathan Rupert. Are y'all watching Welcome to Wrexham? Wrexham. It's been really good so far. Oh, I'm sure it has. No spoilers. I don't know what happened. I haven't watched it yet. It's Brian Reynolds. You can't really, not Brian Reynolds. it's
Ryan. Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, not Brian Reynolds.
Yeah.
Got soccer in my head. I heard it's good, so I'll probably give it a try. Give it a whirl.
I'm waiting for Ted Lasso season 3 right now.
Are you?
I'm waiting for that to come out.
I need to do 2. I missed 2. I did 1. I haven't done 2.
It's good.
I'm not talking about the bathroom either. Welcome to Wrexham. Something I would probably check out because, Wrexham traditionally are a fucking horrible team. So if he can do magic there, That'll be amazing. So Dempsey just need a half speed, more of speed.
He's talking about his ways on Paramount, just talking in general. He's a little bit more livelier and stuff like that.
I thought that he was telling him to do an 8-ball. I didn't know.
Yes. Like, you gotta get in there, man. Come on.
Just do a half a bowl. Tad Lasso is overrated. I like the first season a lot.
I liked it because the thing I liked about Ted Lasso is the fact that soccer was not necessarily the main point of the show.
No,
and they very rarely actually showed any of it going on for obvious reasons. First off, but
yeah, because it's pretty bad. Horrific. Yeah, the games are horribly choreographed.
No, I liked the. Oh, okay. No, Colin was being serious with the speed as far as a player. If he had a little more speed as a player, he would have been unstoppable.
So he was saying take drugs.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I like the.
Yeah, he's right.
I like the character developments and the character arcs throughout the show. I've been entertained.
Dempsey could have been a little faster. By the way, that would have helped him if you come. You imagine a fast Dempsey? Shit, that would have been scary.
One of my favorite moments of Dempsey was that.
Yeah, the whole.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Fred Baker is next. I can already see the top of his Fred Bakerness coming through. No, legit is a disgrace.
Berhalter out.
No out to whore. Fuck Gregg. All right. Well, fuck yourself. I mean, seriously, we know you're not real, so it's not a big deal. Simon Walker back again with his fake English flags next to Great Britain flags. All right, EPL All-Star Game. Laugh. Bully like all you Yanks know fuck all about football. Oh, shut up. I just spent a fucking 10-minute spout off against Bowley to even suggest that. So you're wrong. Not all Yanks. Not all you Yanks. How about you? I'm not picking all English people. I'm just picking on you, Simon, if in fact you're actually English. You call it soccer. We're not the only ones that call it soccer. And are trying to ruin our game.
Call it soccer, by the way.
Yes, they do in the Caribbean.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Even have the soccer boys. We're not trying to ruin your game. Get the fuck out of England. You should actually live in England because it doesn't seem like you do. And go ruin football elsewhere. I don't think you're English, Simon. I'm sorry. I don't. And Pooley was Bullocks. Oh, my God. He's trying so hard. You're a Muppet. That's what you are. Give him and fat fuck Bellin Bowley out of my club. All right.
Jose Lopez says Simon Walker officially sits when he pees.
Yep. It's true. And he drinks.
It's science.
Yep. And that's so he can capture his pee in a cup that he has below his wang because he drinks it. All right. He drinks. He's a piss drinker. All right. Are we done?
Yeah.
All right, guys. This was a special show in many ways. Especially because it almost didn't happen because my computer sucks. Special in the sense that you guys came out and watched, and we're not on Wednesdays. So if you did come out tonight, I want to say thank you. I want to make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, and I don't know. No, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something I was going to regret, so I'm not going to say that. And you'll all wonder what it was. But I just, I've run it through my brain.
You're into with that, Derek.
I hate fucking feet.
Whoa. Well, you let a little too much into your sexual life there, Derek. You hate fucking feet.
No, feet are gross. They're gross on women. They're grosser on men. Feet are it's the ugliest part of the body. And if anybody has a foot fetish, I'm sorry. This is my personal flavor going here.
I'm going to put that in quotes and throw it on Twitter. In quotes, I hate fucking feet, Derek Ritchie.
I hate when some chick's like, fuck my feet. And I'm like, I don't want to. She's like, you better do it right now. Okay.
You're walking around outside with those Crocs on. Fuck that shit.
I get her, grab her ankles, put her, anyhow. All right. So here we go. till the next time we will be back. I don't know if we're going to be back Thursday since we did this Wednesday, unless something,
something comes up, guys. Yeah, tomorrow, if we had a show tomorrow, it would be us just bullshitting, which I'm sure a lot of you would like, but we can only bullshit so much.
There'd be like 20 of them that would like that. So yeah, we will be back. It's going to be Monday, unless sparks fly out of somebody's ass and something happens on Thursday and we got to report on it, which is not going to happen generally. So until the next time on the Straight Red Card, we love you.
And we're teammates.
Yeah, we're teammates.
I'm a good chef.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick, bro.
I can make food. Cheese as well. So.
Oh my god, bro. Yo, you gotta cook for me. Damn. Bro, I get up to cook and I just can't do it. This is tough, bro. I gotta say video games, bro. That's bad.
What about your family, bro?
I mean, yeah. Just because the way that I was living in Austria, bro, I didn't have anybody there, so like...
I've eaten.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
I have so many...
Bro, I just don't even notice, to be fair. Like, but I just kind of grab it, bro. Grab a couple. There you go. Bro, this is hard.
Yeah.
I'd probably say him. I mean...
You're gonna do her. Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the